Rocky Turf Talk is proudly brought to you by Cocoa Brew.
Hello punters and welcome to the Cocoa Brew Rocky Turf Talk for Callaghan Park Racing Friday, May 30. Roy Thompson is a part-time trainer as a small boutique team of horses in work here in Rockhampton. He's got the one runner on Friday in the way of the Prince Fawaz filly and Bungarabee Rain. To analyse her chances and to enlighten us on the Roy Thompson racing story, we caught up with a man they call Yogi earlier today. Roy, one runner on Friday in the way of Bungarabee Rain, but personally enlighten us, how did your interest in racing come about?
Yeah, Russell, I was born and bred in Barcaldine, and then my dad had a couple of horses in the late 70s and 80s, and as I got a bit older I was able to write a bit of track work for him, and once I left home I went to Longreach Pastoral College, and that's where I struck a bloke called Liam Birchley, and that's maintained my interest since then.
You train part-time. How many have you got currently in work?
Yeah, currently I have two horses. I have a 6-year-old gelding and a 2-year-old filly.
As you said earlier on, born and bred in Barcaldine, a famous racing town which has produced some legendary racing families. A couple that come to mind are the famous Raptor brothers and trainer Jack and jockey Kevin, who won back-to-back Rocky Cups in 1960 and 61 with Beau Drum. The O'Toole family and trainer, the late great Oddles O'Toole, and the legend lives on with his son Patrick still training in Barcaldine today, and daughter Charlene, who is married to leading Darwin mentor and Gary Clark.
Yeah, we had some really good trainers out there, Russell, and I'd like to mention, you mentioned Jack and Kevy Rafter. Well, Kevy Rafter's son Jeffrey is still training out there, and when I was there was an old fellow there called Paddy Kelly that was good, and Tessie Bain, he was out there when I was coming through. He's probably a mentor of mine. I did a bit of work with him as well.
Rugby league was your chosen sport growing up in Barcaldine, which you excelled at. You even played in some of the famous All Blacks and All Whites games which were played in late September each year.
Yeah, they were a highlight on the calendar for everybody that followed rugby league right around the state, I guess, and that would give us the first opportunity, because we used to invite players out from Sydney and Brisbane, and those days those competitions were huge. Our first opportunity to see those players close up, and it was a highlight for everybody to just take part in those things.
Some great players ventured out west to play in those games at state and international level in Ian Tiney and Rod Reddy, and they didn't come any tougher than the Daisy brothers from Mount Isa and Frankenburn.
Yeah, I'll back you up on those two. And also, in Longreach we had Ray Hicks came out there and he brought his brothers, and they were a tough bunch of boys as well. And then in Barcaldine, a bloke called Chips Harrington came along, and he changed the concept in Barcaldine on how we play the footy game and how we train. And after he came through, we won a number of premierships, so he was a very influential bloke to come into the Barcaldine scene with us.
Back to racing, Liam Birchley at Deerprint, and one of Queensland's leading trainers and has been for some time. What is the most valuable bit of advice that he's entrenched?
Yeah, one of the things that he often says is that you make sure when you are training that you get your horse right first before you start looking at a calendar. And his argument for that is that if we pick a race out down the track, we start cutting corners to make sure we can fit in with the calendar. So you get your horse right first, then look at your calendar.
Let's turn our attention to Friday. One runner, race 2, horse 6 in Bungarabee Rain. Brooke Johnson to ride. She's had the one racetrack appearance for a good second behind She's a Alibi, and then after that, she looked very sharp in a recent Callaghan Park barrier trial.
Yeah, she did, and that's that trial was a really nice trial. It was probably, as Liam has taught me, it was a typical Birchley trial. She jumped, held a position, and went to the line hard held.
Neutral draw. Where does she map in the run?
Well, we're hoping to get forward and get some cover, and we'll see what happens from there.
Can you give the punters a lead? How's the confidence level?
We're confident that she'll run well, and if she gets some nice cover, she'll finish hard, but if it rains, we'd be very confident.
Well, you've been rewarded for your efforts, so much so you're the Cocoa Brew Racing Participant Award winner for the month of May. Good luck on Friday. Keep up the good work, and thanks for joining us on RTT today.
Yeah, thanks to Cocoa Brew and thanks to you, Russell.
Hi, this is John Tapp, and when you're in Rockhampton for the races, Cocoa Brew is your one-stop shop. With a wide range of craft beers and cocktails, the restaurant has a succulent menu and the best steaks in town. The boardroom and whisky lounge will cater for your private function. Accommodation, they've got you covered with boutique apartments on site at a 4.5-star rating. And for coffee and food on the run, head straight to Cocoa Brew Express. When next in town, let the crew from Cocoa Brew look after you.
Selections Race 1, the cutest 2-year-old handicap over 1,050 metres. Hero like the toppy in Sarah KL. Well, he boasts a wonderful record, this fellow. He's 3 from 4. He comes off a very good second last start in the Capricorn Yearling Sale Classic. I do think he'll return to the winner's stall here, and Warwick Satherley does the riding and the training with Sarah KL. Danger number 2, Cuddles for Kimmy. Third best forward, Tinkerbella. 1, 2, 4, numbers race 1. Then to race 2, the cutest 2-year-old maiden over 1,200 metres. Hero like horse number 6 in Bungarabi Rain, for all the reasons outlined by trainer Yogi Thompson, and Brooke Johnson does the riding on Bungarabi Rain. Second selection number 2, Prophet's Prayer. Third selection 1, Turbo Talk. 6, 2, 1, numbers race 2. Then to race 3, the maiden handicap over the mile. Hero like the toppy in Boom Crusher. He's run second at his past 2. I do think he'll go one better here and break through for his maiden win. And Warwick Satherley does the riding for the Carrots My Stable with Boom Crusher. Danger number 2, He's Poplar. Third best 3, Check 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, numbers race 3. Then to race 4, the Class 3 handicap over 1,050 metres. Hero like the one again and Big Cat. He looked very sharp in winning a recent Callaghan Park Barrier trial. He brings that trial form to the races. I do think he'll win first up from a break, and Butler does the riding for the Welsh Yard with Big Cat. Second selection number 3, Devil Devil. Third selection 7, Coming Spinner. 1, 3, 7, numbers race 4. Then to race 5, this starts the quaddie, the open handicap over 1,050 metres. Hero like horse number 5 and Desert Kobe. He's won his past 2. Do think he'll make it 3 straight here, and Sean Cormack does the riding for the Jamie McConaughey stable with Desert Kobe. Danger number 2, Maximum Output. Third best 4, Capo Strata. 5, 2, 4, numbers race 5. Then to race 6, the benchmark 58 handicap over 1,200 metres. Hero like course number 1 in the Brill Building. He comes up a very good second last start. I do think he'll go one better here and return to the winner's stall, and Wiggins does the riding for the Vale Yard with the Brill Building. Second selection number 3, Northumbria. Third selection 6, Nikanori. 1, 3, 6, numbers race 6. Then to race 7, the cutest 3-year-old handicap over 1,200 metres. Hero like horse number 4 in Lonnie's Fabre. He's been racing very well, this fellow. He's run second at his past 2. I do think he'll be winning here, and Ryan Wiggins does the riding for the Ricky Vale Yard with Lonnie's Fabre. Danger number 2, Scrub Chain. Third best 1, Obligated. 4, 2, 1, numbers race 7. Then to the closer, race number 8, the Class 1 handicap over 1,400 metres. Hero like horse number 2 in Determination. He comes up a very good second last start. I do think he'll be winning here and bring up a winning treble for the combination of Wiggins and Vale. Danger number 1, Boom Shalar. Third best 5, Alpha Dundee. 215, numbers race 8. Best bet on the program comes up in race 1, horse number 1 and Sarah KL. Good luck, good punning, and I'll catch you at the track on Friday.
Rocky Turf Talk is proudly brought to you by Cocoa Brew.